All right. Wizard goes first. Here's the thing. The only goblin that would be at all visible is Goblin 3. This goblin rolled 11 on their hide check. So if I look at the elf wizard's passive perception, the elf wizard's passive perception is 13. This goblin is definitely not hidden from... Actually, this goblin wouldn't be hidden from anybody because they rolled less than 15. They failed their stealth check. So combat starts probably when the party notices these guys. So this is the only viable target. At the moment, they have 3/4 cover. So we will look at the wizard's spells. Do they have magic missile? They do. The wizard... Let's play really smart. The wizard's going to magic missile this goblin here, then move 1 step to there, and then hit the prone position. So magic missile in 2024 does 3 1d4s plus 3. Okay. That is 1, 5, 7. That is 10 points of damage. And how many spell slots do we have on a level 1 wizard? Does it say? I think we only have 2 spell slots. I think it's 2. Let's go with 2. Because 1 would be not fun. I'm not very good at using D&D Beyond. And also, yeah, it's 2 level 1 slots. Great. That is 10 points of damage on this goblin here. He might even be dead. Oh, that is just enough. Yeah. So kind of like a surface to air missile, just a barrage comes up here and just precision strikes and just obliterates this position. 1 goblin was killed immediately. We'll rub them off. They're gone. Let me get a bit of paper and rub them out. I'm actually glad I came in here with the hypothesis because I'm not sure if it's going to be fulfilled. He's gone. So next up is Goblins 1 and 4. We've just seen the wizard do something crazy. We've just seen the wizard do something crazy. Who's the biggest threat? Let's go for the lowest AC that we can see. It's going to be 1 and 4. So they could both target him. Any of those 3, they can all target. So of the fighter, the rogue, and the paladin, who looks doable? 14 on the rogue, 18 on the cleric. We're not doing that. 14 on the fighter. Fighter could be a real pain in the bum. Wizard did just murder their buddy, but we're playing him smart. I think we might want to take out the fighter. Yeah, I think we might want to just take out the fighter. Just bang. So what happens is one of these guys, number 1, takes a step forward, comes out from behind the thicket of trees. That is 10 feet of movement. they're going to take a ranged attack at this fighter. The AC we're looking for on the fighter is 14. And because we've just come out of hiding, or like we're attacking from hiding, we have advantage on this attack. So we roll twice, take the highest, and it's +4. That is 1 hit. Cool. So that's going to hit. We're going to use average damage for the enemies. So that is, oh my God, this is going to get real painful. That is 5 points from this short bow, and then an extra 2 damage from the fact that we attacked with advantage because of this feature. 7 points total. Oof, oof, oof. Can I just damage him one at a time? I will just track over here. Okay, they've taken 7 damage total. We are going to attack him again. We drop people, okay? So that is number 4, attacking the same character. That is a miss, or we take a step forward. Oh, that is 2 misses. Tink. Great. That is their turn. However, they each have their movement. So number 1 is going to move 10 feet back into the shrubs and going to bonus action take the hide action. We need to beat a 15 or more to be hidden. We are +6. That is a 10. That is 16. This character is now hidden again. And this movement now is unseen. We move there. Okay? None of the characters can see where this character is. 4 is going to do the same thing. That is an 18 +6 as they move back. And nobody knows where they are. They move. Nobody knows what square this character is on. Next in the order is the Paladin. Oh, I love having a bloody Russ tracker. So helpful. Thank you, Russ. Paladin, what is your instinct in this case? You cannot see any goblins. No goblins are visible to you. What would you like to do? You have a javelin and no spells. You have lay on hands. What do you think? I think if we were going SWAT team, I think the answer might be, yep, there you go. And let's even go smart. Let's move to cover. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to move to cover and we're going to hold action on the Paladin. The next time a goblin pops up, we are going to throw a javelin. Next is Goblin number 2. Goblin number 2 takes a step forward, gets a javelin thrown at them. Now they have half cover at the moment because of the elevation. So being half cover, let me just confirm exactly what that means mechanically. I know that I could, I mean three quarters cover. Wait, no, half cover is what I mean. Half cover is +2 to the AC. So the Goblin's AC for this roll from the Paladin is going to be 15 because we said that he can't use the shield and the bow at the same time. So it's going to be 15 to hit this guy. And the Paladin's attack is +5 to hit. So we're looking for a 10 or more. The Paladin hits this Goblin. The Paladin will deal 1d6 +3. The Paladin hits this guy for 9 points of damage. Goblin number 2 is on 1 hit point. Man, this is actually quite brutal. Okay, that's That's that attack, that held action. The paladin, how many javelins do they have? Let's check. They have 5 javelins. They can keep doing that. Woof. This goblin is going to attack that fighter. Has advantage on the attack. Oh, are you kidding? That is +4 to hit. That is a 10. That is a miss. Goblin is going to retreat back into the brush. Bonus action hide. +6 on this. That is a successfully hidden Bella. Next up is the cleric. What would the cleric like to do, Russ? Gob 2 is hidden. Correcto. I thought this was going to go way, way more hardcore. I think best strategy for the cleric, I'm just looking at their stats. They have a guiding bolt attack they can do. And healing wise, they have cure wounds. Their correct action probably is to hold action. That's green, yeah. Do the same thing. Moves forward and they're going to hold a guiding bolt attack. The next thing that moves. Next up is the rogue. I reckon the rogue will probably do... Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Healing should only be when somebody goes down. I think the rogue will probably go up the back, jump off here, do the same thing with a short bow. The next time somebody pops up, they're getting popped. Let me check the rogues that he does have a short bow. He does have a short bow. And let me check the paladin. Does he have any ranged attacks? Oh, not the paladin. It's the fighter that hasn't gone. Oh, they have a second wind ability that they probably want to use. They have a longbow. Now, do they have a shield factored into their armor? Because if so, they don't have a shield. Yeah, and what the fighter's going to do is bonus action heal. That is, they heal 7 points of damage. That is them back up to full health. They're going to drop back here, take cover behind the cart, and they're going to hold their action. So held actions are at the moment, rogue, short bow, cleric, guiding bolt, paladin, javelin. Top of the order, we go to the wizard. The wizard cannot see anyone. Best action for the wizard would be to wait until the second person pops out. The wizard's going to hold their action and wait until the second person pops out. And do I really want to blast them? Let me think about this. If I'm a player, I'm quite resistant to using all my spell slots in one encounter. Like, of course, the wizard can trivialize this. So I think the wizard is actually going to hold a firebolt for the second person that pops out. Hello, Nugget Hunter. How are you? AoE? I don't think we have any AoEs. As a low-level wizard, your only AoE is usually Thunderwave. Love the content of Elmop. That's good to hear. Glad to help. And do you know what? I think that our wizard probably wouldn't actually have an extra spell slot because they should have cast Mage Armor on theirself. Right? Wizards always have Mage Armor cast, no matter what. So that's our last spell slot used. So they're going to hold a Ray of Frost. Isn't the wizard prone anyway? The wizard is prone. They'll use their turn to stand up and then hold their action to blast. Next up is 1 and 4. I think at this point, This side is actually quite rough. When I look at like the angle, right? If 4 were to attack these two, they're going to have cover. So 4's probably looking at these two. However, we could move this way and try and get a shot on the rogue. Or we could move that way and try and get a clear shot on that pally, which I think we might be able to do on that fighter. I'm actually having fun doing this. Okay. The wizard just stood up because he doesn't want to do his Ray of Frost with disadvantage. This guy moves forward, gets fucking obliterated. There are 3 held actions. There is a, what is this? Divine Bolt or something? What is it? What's the cleric ranged thing? Guiding Bolt. Oh, that's a, let's call it a hand axe instead, a thrown hand axe, because I don't think the cleric would want to use one of his spell slots. So we'll call that a held hand axe throw. That is +4 to hit, and we're looking for a 15. That is a miss on the hand axe from the cleric. Let's just go in order. Next held action was the rogue. The rogue was holding a short bow shot, +5 to hit. That is also a miss. That is 2 1s in a row, by the way. Next held action is the fighter, who was holding a javelin. Javelins have been mighty effective. Okay, for the javelin, it is... Do you not have a javelin fighter? Fighter doesn't have a javelin. Fighter has a longbow. Good news though, they're +7 to hit. Yeah, it's a longbow. So this will be brutal. That is a 12 to hit. That is a miss. All 3 attacks missed. The wizard held their attack for the next person that came out. So this goblin number 1 here is actually going to target the wizard with an attack. We have advantage because we've just come from hidden. We are +4 to hit on this short bow. That is a 12 +4, a 16. That's a hit. We're going to hit the wizard for 5 +2, 7 points of damage on the wizard. Is the wizard up? The wizard is on 1 hit point. The wizard is on 1 hit point. Then this guy uses his turn to take 1 step back. He's going to roll stealth +6 with a bonus action. That is a 20 to hide. He is now hidden. They don't know where he is. I'm getting a little bit scared of AoE stuff, so we are going to take a step to the side. Number 4. Here we have an option. We can try and hit the wizard and take them down, but they will have 3/4 cover being behind that cart. So that would mean they have an AC of 17 when I'm +4 to hit. But I really do think we need to start removing combatants. And these guys on this side, these are the 2 like armor class tanks, aren't they? Because that's the cleric. They've got an AC of 18. And that is the paladin with an armor class of 8. So fuck these guys. You know what I mean? These guys, they're fine. They get to live. I think I kind of want to go for the wizard. So let's pop forward. Donk. We're going to pop forward. The wizard will unleash their held action, which is the Ray of Frost. The wizard's Ray of Frost in 2024. Let's see what it does. +4 to hit. That is an 4 +4 is an 8. That is a miss. So a blue beam shoots over this fella's head. And then he unleashes an attack at advantage against the wizard. It's advantage because he's attacking from hiding. However, the wizard is going to have +5 to their armor class because they have 3/4 cover. So it's AC 17 for the wizard. That is 14 plus 4, 18. 18 beats it. So the wizard gets hit for another 7 points of damage, and the wizard is now unconscious. That's his asshole. Okay? He's face down in the dirt. Next is, we got to move back. We hide. We take a step back. We roll. We failed the hide check. We got a 9 on the hide check. That means you have to beat a 15 in order to be hidden. This goblin is now visible. All right, we got, next up is, wizard just held their turn. 1 and 4 went. Now it's the paladin's turn. What would the paladin like to do? Apologies for kicking that. The paladin might want to heal the wizard. We do have lay on hands. Let's see. The paladin, we can lay on hands. We can give up to 5 hit points. Strategically, I think that might be it. And you can do it as an action. Can we even get to the wizard? It'll be 1 square, 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get there. We can get there as, if you're driving, don't fucking watch me while driving, you psycho. What are you doing? Nuke the goblin or save the wizard. I think new players would nuke the goblin. Let's nuke the goblin. We're going to attack that goblin. He has +5 to his AC, so he is going to be at 18. So our attack is +5 to hit. We need a 13 or higher to hit. We do not hit. We whiff it. We are going to use our movement though. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just making our way back so that maybe we can get to the paladin eventually. To the wizard eventually. Next is goblin number 2. This goblin is only on 1 bloody hit point. Now at this point, I wonder, should we be killing the wizard? Would that be cruel? Would that be cruel? Probably would be cruel. We probably want to drop somebody else. And the person we probably want to drop is the fighter. The fighter is actually really deadly. So we're going to attack the fighter one more time. We pop out. We short bow them with advantage. Ooh. That might be a hit on the fighter. The fighter's AC is 14. That is 1 hit on the fighter with a 17 to hit. And I think that's another 7 points of damage. There's another 7 points of piercing damage on the fighter. Therefore, the fighter is down to 5 hit points because they healed last turn. Next up is the cleric. The cleric is probably going to heal this. No, I think we're nuking. I think we're nuking this guy. We're going to throw another hand axe. Let's see how many we have. Equipment. Oop, that's the fighter. It's not the cleric. Hand axe. Very good. We only had 1 hand axe. That's thrown. What spells do we have? We have Sacred Flame. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Sacred Flame is a deck save attack. Oh, I forgot. This guy needs to move back and do his stealth. That is an 8 plus 6 for his stealth. That is less than 15. He is not hidden either. And he's on 1 hit point. So, I think that the dwarf is going to Sacred Flame that guy. Absolutely. So we're looking for a deck save from this goblin. His deck save is +2. He fails it. He takes more than 1 hit point. Goblin 2 fucking dies. Up next. Does he want to move? Does the cleric want to move? No. He's got cover from some attacks. He's in a good position. Up next is the rogue. The rogue is going to ping this guy over here, goblin number 4. And he's going to do so against an armor class of 13 plus 5 is 18. Good luck, rogue. This is with a short bow. Oh, that is absolutely a hit. 19 plus any number is a good number. It's a good number. How much damage are we dealing nowadays? We're dealing 1d6 plus 3. Do I have a d6? Yes. That is 5 points of damage on goblin number 4. I believe goblin number 4 hadn't taken any damage yet. Just scrolling through the Rust record here. No, so he takes 5 points of damage. He's on half health. He's on 5. It's easy to remember. Now, should the rogue be moving? Maybe. Now, does the rogue have bonus actions yet? Bonus actions to hide and stuff. We're in a pretty good position. We're kind of pinned down, but we're fighting back from this position. I think the rogue's probably going to stay there as well. After the rogue is the fighter. The fighter is an absolute menace and it's going to shoot at this goblin up here. Does the fighter have any like focus abilities in 2024? Can I bonus action aim? Oh, as an elf, I can hide when only lightly obscured. That's pretty cool. No, we don't seem to have any good abilities for like getting advantage here. So we'll just do the attack. It's +7 to hit on this guy. 17. What did I say their armor class was? Their armor class is 13 plus 5, 18. Ding ding, that is a miss. No good. No good. After the fighter is the wizard. The wizard makes our first death save. The wizard rolls a 5. The wizard fails their first death save. Then it is 1 and 4. Both these goblins are going to go again. Yeah. It is a miss. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. I'm barracking for the goblins. I want to see like just how much damage these guys can do if you try and play them correctly. The issue is that I'm also playing the plays correctly. And it turns out if everybody's being fair, it's actually not that bad. But I could kill the wizard. Might still will. Who knows? We got to take out this fighter. That +7 to hit is actually diabolical. There are no held actions at the moment. So I think we are going to pop out. Bonk. We're going to shoot him. It's going to be with advantage because we are attacking from hidden. It's only Goblin 4 that isn't attacking from a hidden position. On the fighter, the armor class we're looking for is 14. Oh, that is a crit. That is a crit. You love to hear it. So we are going to hit them for, it's usually twice the dice. That's the rule that I've always used for crits. I think that's probably correct with 2024 rules. So we're going to roll 2d6 and 2d4 and add 2. 5, 10, 13, 14, 16. We hit the fighter for 16 points of damage, which is diabolical. They are dropped. Wait, is it, what are the rules? If you get hit for twice your hit point maximum? No, I don't think this counts as massive damage. Fight it down, baby. All right, I thought you dickheads were meant to be the heroes. Look, you're no longer driving because you crashed. I'm now in a ditch. I'm upside down in a river. Let's finish that turn properly. Take a step back. Roll stealth. We're +6 to stealth. That is a 17 on stealth. 23. Super duper hidden. And we're going to take a step away. Number 4. We got to decide what we want to do. I kind of think it's nice that we're separate because it's harder for them to take cover. And at one point, they're going to have to pick something and like charge into us, I believe. So, oh, no problem, Russ. Thank you for stopping by and thank you very much for the help. So let's just have a think. Number 4 is going to attack somebody. These two do not have any cover, but they do have high AC. I think we've got to take out their heals. So let's go for... No, the rogue is deadly. They run down when they're down to 1 goblin. Is in the book, I believe. That's when they bail. So we still got a little bit of damage to do. Maybe we'll try and kill the rogue. Next squishiest. Okay, he's got half cover. So we'll call that a +2 for half cover. And we do not have advantage on this attack because we did not attack from hidden. That is a 17 to hit. That is 16 AC with half cover. That is a hit on the rogue, but we don't get our +D4 because we didn't have advantage on that attack. So there's 5 points of damage on the rogue. The rogue is on 6 hit points. This guy is on 5 hit points. He takes a step back. He hides. He succeeds on his hide massively with a 16 +6. Next in the order is Paladin. Now Paladin has 2 people down. At this point, we're probably going to heal someone. We're probably going to heal someone, right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Closest person is the wizard. We will check the paladin's ability, whether it is a action or a bonus action. Lay on hands. We're just going to pump 1 hit point into the wizard. The reason we're only putting 1 hit point into the wizard rather than 5 is because these guys are dealing a minimum of 5 damage every turn. They have 2 hands. That's it. No, don't try and cheat me. It is an action to lay on hands. You lay on hands on 1 creature. Now that guy is still prone. Next is the cleric. The cleric probably, then they can't see anyone. The cleric probably might consider healing someone else, but he could also spare the spell slot. Let me just take a look at Guiding Bolt, because Guiding Bolt actually might be really useful. Guiding Bolt makes it impossible for somebody to hide afterwards, I believe. Or at least in 2014. Oh, what? This is the 2024 version of it. Are these 2024 characters? I thought they were. Let's do 2024 Guiding Bolt. Oh no, I can't type. But I'll use whatever's here. It's fine. Yeah, we're going to hold action with the cleric for number 1 to pop out, and we're going to Guiding Bolt him. Because if we hit with Guiding, I think Guiding Bolt does damage no matter what. And when they're hit by it, they should have a harder time hiding. Let me confirm. On hit, the target takes damage, and the next attack roll made against this character has advantage because they have light glimmering off them. So you get advantage on the next attack against them. That will be handy. Held action on the cleric. Rogue. Also going to hold action, but for the next person that pops out. Fighter. Death save. It's an 11. Success in the fighter. Wizard is awake. Wizard can't see anybody, is probably feeling a certain kind of way. Going to use half their movement to stand up. Hold action, attacks the next thing that appears. Okay. This is going to get messy. 1, steps out, gets Guiding Bolted. That is 5 plus 5. That is a miss. Doesn't do anything. It's just a miss. It just shoots off over their shoulder into the distance. Rip. Next is the rogue with the held action. The rogue is plus 5 to hit on the short bow. 15 versus 18 because they have cover is a miss. And then the wizard, only spell they have less is Ray of Frost. That is plus 5 to hit. That is 16. That is a miss. This guy is going to target the wizard again. That is advantage because they were hidden. That is 17 plus 3. That is 7 points of damage. The wizard is unconscious once more. He moves back into the brushes. He hides. 17 plus 6 is 23. He is hidden. He shuffles about like a Monty Cup thing. Next, this guy is also hidden, and the fighter and the wizard are both down. We're trying to take out the cleric, I believe. No, I think we're going for the rogue. We're going for the rogue. Or were we going for the cleric? No, we were doing rogue. We're doing rogue. There's an advantage attack on the rogue. That is 13 plus 4. 17 to hit. The rogue's armor class is 14 plus 2 because they have cover, half cover. That's a hit. The rogue takes 7 points of damage, and now the rogue is unconscious. Okay, this is actually getting a little bit dicey. I don't think I'm playing stupid either. I don't think I'm playing stupid. Very good. He's going to move back into his cover. He rolls to hide. That is 10 plus 6. That is 16. He is hidden. Next up. This is so stupid. Is the paladin. The paladin needs to make a decision about, like, am I going to start... He can't see anybody, but he needs to bring people up. Who should he bring up? Most likely to hit is the fighter. The fighter is the correct decision. He uses 3 squares of movement to move right there. He's going to lay on hands the fighter. for another point. That is his action. Rip. The fighter is now up. Hooray. Cleric. Cleric's probably going to actually have to start doing their job. We got to heal these people. We can't just be doing held actions. What heals do we have on the cleric? We have healing word for a bonus action. That's not bad. We could bonus action healing word someone. We're going to bonus action healing word the rogue, and they're going to heal for 1d4 plus 6. That is a big number. 1d4 plus 6, that seems huge. The rogue's back on full health. They're up. And then as an action, we can use a cantrip. As an action, we could hold Sacred Flame for the next dickhead to pop up. Held action, Sacred Flame on the cleric. Rogue's turn. Hold action. Hold action with the short bow, next dickhead. Fighter, hold action, longbow, next dickhead. Get round to the wizard, roll a death save. That is a success, nearly a 20. So they would have popped up immediately. We're back to number 1 here. He's going to step out and he's about to cop. Strategically, he could take the dodge action, step out, try and dodge all of these, and then this guy could try and do some damage. But I think his AC is pretty high in this moment. I think his AC is pretty high. 13 plus 5, 18. I think he might be okay. So let's resolve these held actions. The first held action was the cleric. Cleric was holding a Sacred Flame. That is a dex save, so the AC doesn't even matter. Okay, dex save from this goblin. That is an 8. Might be okay. Plus 2, that is a 10. And we need a DC 13. This guy takes a D8 of damage. He takes 1 damage. He takes 1 damage. That is not enough damage. This goblin has only taken 1 damage so far. This guy's on half health. That's pathetic. Next held action is the rogue with a short bow. Short bow comes in. 8 plus. Where are we, short bow? 8 plus 5, 13. That is a miss. Longbow comes in with the held action. This is plus 7 to hit. 4 plus 7 is 11. That is a miss. Now we start killing again. He's going to attack the fighter. That is a 19 and a 5 to hit. That is 7 points of damage on the fighter. The fighter goes down. Again. He moves back into the bushes like Homer Simpson. He rolls a crit, which doesn't matter, on his hide check, and he is now hidden. Number 4. Going to pop out. Going to shoot at... We already dropped the rogue. He's going to shoot at the rogue again. That is a 19 to hit the rogue. That'll hit. 7 points of damage on the rogue. The rogue is on 2 hit points. Next in line, the paladin, once again, has to choose who they're going to revive. How many rounds has this been? This is like... I reckon this has been like probably like a half-hour combat or longer if this were played at the table. The paladin chooses Sophie's choice. Who gets to live? Probably the fighter again. Jumps 1 more hit point into the fighter. Says, hey, try and stay standing this time. And do you know what these guys probably should be doing? If I was playing these, I'm now thinking, if I was playing these characters super duper like efficient, what they should be doing is, if they're not holding their action to attack, what they should be doing is going, okay, I shoot them with my bow because I can see them, and then I fall prone. so that I'm a smaller target and their attacks have disadvantage against me. And on my next turn, I use half my movement to stand back up, I shoot someone again, and I fall prone again. These goblins should be doing the same thing. These goblins on their turn, actually maybe they don't have that luxury. They might not have the luxury to do that because they're in difficult terrain. They use 10 feet of movement to pop out. They use 10 feet of movement to pop back in. And then they don't have half their movement to stand up. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. The wizard isn't scary at the moment to them because the wizard is out of spell slots. The cleric only has one spell slot. The rogue, I don't know why I was targeting the rogue, probably just because they appear squishiest. Strategically, it might have been better to go for the paladin because the paladin is bringing people up, but that armor class, 18 armor class, is really intimidating. They don't use their movement to move. Yeah, that's exactly it. They can afford to waste, these players can afford to waste half their movement by dropping down and standing up. Now, we didn't actually roll the hide check for this guy, so let's roll him. That is 9 plus 6, that is 15. He is hidden. I forget whose turn it was. I think it was the paladin who just brought up the fighter. And then we go cleric's turn. Cleric, hold action. Rogue, hold action. Fighter, hold action. None of these guys are prone at the moment because they need to be standing upright so that they don't attack with disadvantage with a ranged attack. And let me tell you what would happen if any of these guys try to charge into the bush. Any of these guys try to charge in, these guys just start kiting. Maybe one even dashes across to this side. I don't think it would be a good idea to break cover here. Wizard, death save. That is a failure. One failure, one success on the wizard. Paladin's turn. Oh no, it's the boy's turn again. Number one pops out, gets hit with 3 held actions. We have a saving throw, DC 13, against the Sacred Flame. That is a success. No damage on the Sacred Flame. Maybe actually half damage. Let me check. Yep. Nothing. No damage from that. Then comes the attack from the rogue. That is a 6 plus 5. That is a miss. Then the attack from the fighter. That's going to be a plus 7. That is a 15 to hit. And at the moment, we are 18 AC with their cover. Would it? No, it wouldn't be. It would be 15 AC because he just stepped out into half cover. That is a hit from the fighter. The fighter just hit this guy. Okay, how much damage does the fighter do? The fighter's arrow does 1d8 plus 3. That is 6 points of damage. So this guy has now taken 8 points of damage total. He is on 2 hit points. This guy is on 5 hit points. This is brutal. Russ comes in with Gobo 4 is probably the one the players should target because that's the one that's taken the most damage. This one had taken 2 damage and this one had taken 5 damage. You're right. If he had have hit this one, he would have killed it. Do I want to retcon that? Look, usually held action. I don't think I will. Just because he's taken 9 damage. Okay, so he's on 1 hit point now, and this guy's on 5 hit points. I don't think I will retcon it, just because usually people say, I will shoot the next guy that pops out. That's usually what they say. So let's get the win right now. So what we're going to do is Goblin 1, he pops out, people barrage him, he gets hit with 1 longbow arrow, and he's going to take down the fighter 1 more time. Because the fighter is a genuine risk for how the +7 to hit is kind of brutal. That is an 11 plus 4, 15 to hit. AC on the fighter is 14. That's a hit. That is 7 points of damage. The fighter is down. Again, that is like maybe the 3rd time that the fighter has gone down. Takes a step back. Hides, +6 to hide. That is a 9 plus 6, 15. He is successfully hidden. Russ says, my point was more smart players should be tracking who's taken what and who's the lowest. They probably should. I will say, I think that we are playing these players smarter than I would expect most players to play, and definitely smarter than I would expect players to behave in this particular encounter. Fighter is face down in the dust for like the 3rd time. We got number 4 here. What's he going to do? The rogue is definitely in pain. I think the rogue is on something like 2 hit points at the moment. Yep, the rogue is on 2 hit points. Moves forward. Doesn't attack. With advantage. That is 12 plus 4, 16. The rogue's AC is 16 at the moment. Meets it, beats it. 16 beats 16. The rogue takes 7 damage. The rogue is down. Oh. Okay, this is actually kind of getting dicey. Do you know what I mean? And all they have to do is they just have to kill 1 more goblin, and we call this. But I think that these guys are playing okay. Wild. He moves back into the brush. He hides. 17 plus 6. 23. He is hidden. Paladin's turn. I think this might be the last lay on hands for the Paladin. Or second last. Russ, do you want to make a Sophie's choice? Should the Paladin bring up somebody? Or should the Paladin try and attack or like hold an attack? We have 2 lay on hands left. And down we have the rogue. You want to javelin one of them? Are you sure? Now you can't see them. So it'll be a held action. Are you nervous? You seem nervous. Heal the wizard. Are you sure you want the wizard, not the fighter? Wizard? You know what you said, wizard? We heal the wizard. This is the 4th lay on hands. The wizard is now up. I forgot to mention this, but the wizard does have a DNR, do not resurrect. Oh, that's a good point. He is 1 crit fail away from death. That's good decision making. I like that. Okay. This is so stupid. I have a question about the Paladin. Would you like the Paladin to stay down here? Or would you like the Paladin to try and start moving up into the bushes? Because we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we are in the cover as well. I think that might actually be kind of useful. Oh, maybe that's a decision to make after the last lay on hands is done, because we still have one lay on hands. Pally up near the gobbo. Yeah, okay, we'll move back. 1, 2, 3. We're hiding back there now. Next up is the cleric. The cleric is going to bonus action healing word the fighter. This is the last spell slot of the cleric. Let's just remind ourselves how much that heals for. 1d4 plus 6. Oh, 10. Up to 10 hit points on the fighter. Ooh. Swords and Stones, hello. I think this is probably nearly over. The rogue rolls a death save. Success. The fighter has a turn. The fighter will... Oh. What's the fighter going to do? Because I think the fighter's back on full health again. No, the fighter's back on 12. No, back on 10. Their max is 12. Yeah, the fighter's going to hold their action, hit the next one of these that pops out. This guy's on 2. This guy's on 5. The wizard. Same deal. Stands up, holds action. Ray of Frost, ready to blast some ass. Goblin 1 pops out. Wizard shoots at them. 8 plus 5, 13. That is a miss because he has +2 AC due to being elevated this high. And he is going to shoot the wizard. This guy has dropped this wizard so many times. Oh, he should probably attack the fighter if we're being smart. Oh, wait, no. The fighter gets to shoot him as well. Yeah. Oh. Fighter gets to take a shot at him. +7 to hit. 8 plus 7 is 15. That'll kill him. That'll deal at least 2 damage. And according to the book, now this guy flees. So first things first, we need to roll the hide check of these guys. Anybody that rolls under 15 is not hidden. Number 1 is not hidden. Number 2 is not hidden. Number 3 is not hidden. Number 4 is hidden. Now that's brutal. He's the only hidden one. This is going to be a bloodbath. This is going to be a bloodbath. Okay. Yeah, brutal. Okay. So who has the alert feat? I think it might only be the whatchamacall, the halfling. And alert in this edition means you add +2 to your initiative. Dude, D&D Beyond sucks. So the alert feat, initiative proficiency. When you roll initiative, add 2 to the roll. But then you look at their initiative, and the initiative on the character sheet says +5. It's not +5, it's +7. Because you have the alert feat. Why can't this sheet do this? That's pathetic. Oh, that's embarrassing. Come on. I'm angry. I'm angry at D&D Beyond. All right, we will take initiatives. I'll write these down. Goblin 1, they are going to be +2. Oh, shit. So that is 17 for Goblin 1. Goblin 2 got a 21. Goblin 3 got a 7. And Goblin 4 gets to roll with advantage because they are invisible. They rolled a 21 as well. Very good. Now, let's go down the order here. The fighter is -1. Fighter is 10. Next is the rogue. He gets to add a +7. 12 on the rogue. Next up is the cleric. They get to add a -1. 10 on the cleric. The barbarian. Barbarian's French. That is +2. 12. I wouldn't be surprised if barbarians have like a danger sense or something. No. Barbarian is 14. And the last one is El Wizard. +2. That is 6 on the wizard. Very good. Our initiative order is Goblin 2, Goblin 1, 2, and 4. Jesus. Okay. Here's our initiative order. Then highest is Barbarian. Then Rogue. Then Fighter Cleric. Then it's Goblin, the last one, who is Goblin 3. And then Wizard. That is our initiative order. The rogue can swap. Would the rogue want to swap with an ally? Yeah, the rogue should swap with the wizard. The rogue will swap with the wizard because you want the wizard to go high in the initiative order. I think that would be correct strategy. Very good. Very good. Put that over there. It's funny that, like, even just running a... Oh, I've set my foot funny. Oh. Even just running a combat encounter by yourself, it still takes a while. It still takes a little while. Number 4 is hidden. Sorry, put that little hat on him. Top of the order, Goblins 1, 2, and 4. Let's take a look at the fighter. We might want to try and just knock them out. Yeah, we're going to try and just knock the fighter out post-haste. They are the only persons... Who we got in the front? We got the barbarian and the cleric. We could drop the healer. Dropping the healer might not be a bad idea. I have a question, Russ. Which do you think is fairer? I am looking at the cleric right now, and on their character sheet it says they do not have a shield, even though they do have a spare hand, and I find it kind of strange that they don't have a shield. Should I give them a shield or not? What do you think is fair? You know, saying it out loud, I think I will give them a shield. Because if I saw a character not optimized, I would say, oh, you find a shield. Or you find something you can use as a shield. I'm going to put that AC at 14. It's ridiculous to have a character not be have that AC. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to... Oh, shit. We're going to pop out with the guy that is hidden. He's going to shoot the cleric with advantage. AC 14 I'm going to give her, or him, I don't know. That is a hit. That is 7 points of damage on the cleric. Maybe I should keep track as well. You were handy last time, Russ. And in fact, you got it exactly right as well. I watched the VOD back at double speed when I was taking my notes. Cleric has taken 7. but I shouldn't have to 100% rely on you. That is 7 points of damage on the cleric. This character steps back. They're going to roll their hide check. They are hidden again. One pops out. Takes a single shot at the cleric. This is... Does the cleric have lucky? Because I could give disadvantage to somebody that's attacking me. Does not have lucky. Okay. That is a hit on the cleric. That is another 7 points of damage. The cleric is unconscious. Oh. This guy moves back into his hidey hole. +6. He is not hidden. Number 2. Now, what do we need to do? We need to crit the wizard. Next is we're going to attack the wizard. This guy is not hidden. He's going to attack the wizard. The wizard has an AC of 13 with the mage armor. Here we go. That is a hit. So that is 14. Oh man, the wizard only has... Yeah. Oh wait, no. Okay. Sorry, I was doing math in my head. The wizard has 7 hit points. I just hit him with a non-hidden goblin. It wasn't at advantage. Therefore, it only does 5 damage instead of 7 damage. Now, the wizard could use his spell slot. Oh no, he has a free use of shield. 13 plus 5. What does shield do in this edition? 13 plus 5 is 18. 14 plus 4 is 18. So even if he did shield, it would still hit. So he will take the 5 damage. And he's still up. This guy will move back into the shadows. Hide. 9 plus 6 is 15. That is a hide. Successful. And let me just check the passive perception of all these characters. Fighter has 11. Rogue has 12. Oh, the cleric has a passive perception of 15. Now that's very interesting. It is 100% correct that we attacked the cleric. 11 on the barbarian, 12 on the wizard. So I'm really glad the cleric is unconscious. Hey, we got a question from YouTube. Hey mate, Isaac, how are you? Matthew, how should I incorporate Nezar's first contact into my campaign? Since players have already gotten into trouble with the red brands and probably go to their hideout next session. They encounter her lurking in the hideout. She is trying to steal something from them. Maybe she wants something, or... Oh no, she can't be directly working against them. She was only fighting the red brands because it behooves her to weaken another power in the region, even if it's her ally. And she was trying to endear herself to the players. Maybe she just rocks up and gives them something. She goes, hey, I heard you were going to go mess them up. Good luck. I encourage her. Here, take this. Yeah. Really the best way to introduce the Nezar, the Black Spider, is in a combat. Nothic food. Says Ross, very funny. Yeah, somebody told me that they've tried to fight like 10 red brands at once. And Nezar was like really helpful in that fight because that is a insurmountable number of red brands. They're actually quite tough. Okay. So this guy is hidden with a roll of 15. And next in the order, we're up to Wizard. The Wizard has to use a spell slot. The Wizard has to actually do something that's going to kill somebody. We are hidden, not hidden. This is the only one they can actually see. We don't want to contest with their armor, so we're going to magic missile them. The Wizard is going to... Yeah, magic missile. Dude, even like the roll on their magic missile is wrong on D&D Beyond. They says it does 1d4 plus 1. No, it doesn't. That's what one dart does. But it has 3 darts. 3d4 plus 3. Useless. All right. On goblin number 3. 3 damage. They have 10 HP. 4 damage. 5 damage plus 3 is 8. This goblin number 3 has taken 8 points of damage. He's on 2. Just smashes him. The best thing that this character could do on this turn now is actually go prone. So I'll put a circle on them and say that they have fallen to the ground prone. And they should actually come around to this side. They should actually be going 1, 2, 3, 4. They should fall prone on this side. The reason they should fall prone on this side is because they'll have cover from this side over here, and they're pretty sure we can see this guy. Someone is going to charge this guy right now. So there's going to be fewer goblins on this side compared to that side, I believe. Next up, Fighter. I think the Fighter's going to charge in. Or we can see somebody. Barbarian's probably going to charge in. Take a look at Fighter abilities. They've got a great sword. And they have armor class 17 somehow. How? They're using a great sword. No, they're using chainmail. What does chainmail do? I think they're doing chainmail wrong as well. Oh, I can't type. Can someone look up chainmail 2024? Is chainmail you set your armor class to 16, or is chainmail 16 plus dex? Because that can't be right. They're saying on the sheet that the character has an armor class of 17 and they have dex of +1. Oh shit. Let's take a look. Oh, I've got the book. I can just look at the book. No, I don't have the book. I lent the book to someone. Shit. Okay, let's see. Basic rules. Armor. Medium armor. Heavy armor. Chainmail. Yeah, they've got their decks wrong. I mean, they've got their armor wrong. What is happening? So chainmail is meant to be your armor class becomes 16. You don't add your dex. Yes, there is a difference between chainmail and chain shirt. I'm thinking I might not make the video that I'm going to make and instead make a video saying the character sheets in the new starter set are wrong. You need to make these changes. And I'll just like completely investigate them. Unless he has like a feat or something that goes, you get +1 to your armor. He might. Oh, how about this? Found it. No, we're good. We're good. We're back on top. He has the defensive fighting style. You gain +1 to your AC. Fantastic. Fantastic. False alarm. He has 17 AC. Also, he's an Asian lady. I didn't realize. Well, this guy's an AC tank. Let's actually just get him in the face of somebody. So he's going to charge up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's going to do that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he can get there. And he is going to short bow this goblin right here. This goblin does have 3/4 cover. Is that what I should do? 3/4 cover. So he's got an AC of 18. Or should I take the dodge action? I think he'd be better off taking the dodge action. He's going to take the dodge action. If somebody else can kill this guy, I bet. Next up is the cleric. Cleric is making death saves. Cleric succeeds the death save. We probably don't even need to track him. Then the rogue. The rogue can shoot this fella. I got really angry about the character sheet being wrong before, and it's not even wrong. It's so silly. So the rogue can make a short bow attack. +5 to hit. And do we have lucky or anything fun? We do not. Okay, so +5. 8, that is a miss on the rogue. Then we are going to come here, and we are also going to fall prone. Fantastic. Did I not even take the barbarian's turn ever? The barbarian should have had a turn at some point. That's embarrassing. The barbarian will also charge up here. He's probably going to have to bonus action rage. And does he have any ranged attacks? He can throw a spear. That's so cool. Yeah, we'll throw a spear, I guess, because we have to make an attack. Oh, no, we don't have to. We just entered our rage, so we're okay. So we're going to run up here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or should I be going up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll go up here. We'll go up here. And he will dodge, maybe? He cares less about that. I think he might actually spear attack this guy. Yeah, we're going to throw the spear at this fella. Simple. It's a simple weapon, thrown, and it's got a range. It doesn't have reach, though, which feels silly. +5 to hit. That is a miss. Next up, 1, 2, and 4. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. I thought I was cheating. We're fine. Am I cheating? The rogue couldn't have shot at this guy. The rogue could not have shot at this guy because he's actually invisible. The barbarian couldn't have shot at this guy either. No, the barbarian could have because he hid before the rogue's turn. So let's retcon the rogue real quick. Rogue doesn't go prone. Rogue holds his action with his short bow at the next goblin that pops out. Barbarian gets up here. He can see this guy. He did throw something at him and he missed. And then that guy hid. Great. Come back to these guys. Hidden, hidden, hidden. What do we need to do? We need to save our friends over here. So one is going to pop out, shoot this fighter. That's with advantage because he was hidden. That is a 12 plus 4. That is a miss on the fighter. Pops back. Tries to hide. Does not hide. Number 1 is not hidden. Number 2 pops out. Shoots the fighter. That is a crit on the fighter. That is twice the dice. So it's going to be 2d6 and 2d4 plus 2. 2d6, 2d4 plus 2. But couldn't they could have all shot at 3. So the issue is the barbarian could have shot at 3 because 3 wasn't well hidden at that point. The wizard could have shot at 3 because 3 wasn't hidden. The fighter knew where 3 was. The cleric knew where 3 was, but he was dying. Then 3 had their turn, did something, he hid, and then the rogue had their turn. So that's why the rogue can't actually see 3. The rogue should be taking their held action against one of these guys that pops out though. So we'll resolve that real soon as well. So they probably would have shot at 1. Let's resolve this crit. That is 4. That is 9 points of damage, 11 points of damage on the fighter. The fighter is on 1 hit point. Which is good to know. He's going to pop back. He hides. 11 plus 6 is above 15, so he is well hidden. Now, when this guy was out here, the rogue would have had a pot shot at him. His AC will be 15 when he's out there. The rogue takes his shot. The rogue hits him. How much damage does the rogue do? 1d6 plus 3. No, it is 1d6 plus 3. Does 5 points of damage, number 1. Then he goes back and hides. Great job, rogue. Now, that short bow has the Vex property. The next time the rogue attacks number 1, he has advantage. Okay, very cool. Up next is number 4. We need to kill this guy. So we're going to pop out and we're going to melee him, I believe. We don't need to, actually. We could do it ranged. Yeah. If we can do range, we do ranged. Oh, we would have to swap our weapons if we want to go melee. Do I want to leave my bow behind, grab a sword? Nah, we're gonna pop him. Okay, so we pop out, we take our shot with advantage on the fighter. That is a 19 to hit. That is definitely going to hit. Oh, here's something. The fighter has an ability that we haven't used. The fighter has lucky. When a creature rolls a d20 attack roll against you, you can spend 1 luck point to impose disadvantage on that roll. Okay. I've already rolled it, and they both hit. How am I going to do that? He would have advantage, but I've already rolled it. He should use it. Yeah, well, let's say he uses it and I'll roll a single time for this attack. That would be fair. So this is a +6 single attack, even though it has advantage. That's a miss. You're lucky I'm kind, fighter. So he misses. I feel like the fighter would use it. The issue I had is that I had already rolled. So I just re-rolled with a single one. He's going to pop back in and he's going to hide. Do I want to hide? Do I want to hide? Yes. I'll go there and then there. I successfully hide. Hidden. Barbarian's turn. Now the barbarian can't see anyone. And realistically, this guy could be on any 3 of these squares. So the barbarian is going to move here and then hold his action to bonk somebody with the maul and use his bonus action to continue his rage. Because you can just use your bonus action to extend it, which is great. Wizard can't see anybody. Has no spell slots. Has Ray of Frost. Wizard uses half their movement to get up and is going to hold their action to attack the next person. Fighter is on 1 hit point, needs to use their heal, self-heal. And this is an action. Oh, they made Second Wind an action. No, it's a bonus action. It's a bonus action. Okay, we're good. We're good. Whew. Second Wind is a bonus action. We'll use that. 1d10 + 1. Heals for 6. The fighter has taken 5 damage, has 7 HP. What would the fighter do? Maybe they'll hang back a little bit. They'll hang back a little bit with the short bow. And they will short bow the next person that pops out on this side. Okay. Cleric, death save. Another success. They're going to stabilize soon. Rogue, can't see anyone, is going to wait for number 1 to pop out because they have advantage on that attack. They're going to wait for number 1 to pop out. But 3 should have had their turn before the rogue, so we'll resolve that. So 3's in a little bit of a worry here. There are 2 people holding their action for this guy to pop out. He might be better. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we're going to do. Oh, are we? It's tricky. Now here's my thinking. This guy has a ranged attack held. So if I pop out in his range, in his melee range, he'll have disadvantage on the attack. I could pop out somewhere not near this guy. Not near the barbarian, so I don't get hit, which would be handy. But if I do that, I'm actually going to finish out in the open, which is not ideal. But I think we actually kind of just have to cop that in order to try and hit this guy. Because if we can kill someone, we'll be sweet. Yeah, we're going to try and take out the fighter. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have dropped our bow. Our bow is over there. And he's drawn his sword. He only has his sword out. And he is going to melee attack that fighter. Here's the issue. The fighter does get his attack at disadvantage as he pops out. Fighter. +5 to hit. That is a miss from the bow shot on the fighter. The wizard was holding their Ray of Frost, +5 to hit. Now he will have half cover from that angle. Oh, that is a hit. This could actually kill this fella. 1d8. Do I have a d8? Yes. 3. So that means number 3. Oh, he dies. He only had 2 hit points left. Wizard kills him. Damn. Brutal. That's okay. I think that was still the correct thing to do strategically. That was number 3's turn. Rogue, I said, was going to hold for him, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy pops out, is going to get shot with advantage from the rogue, but we're looking at an AC of 15. 8 plus. What are we adding, rogue? That's a miss. That's a miss from the rogue. The wizard's held action already killed that guy. Barbarian's held action is wasted because he was going to maul someone. This guy is going to try and kill... Who's dangerous right now? The fighter. We're going to get the fighter because he can heal himself. This is with advantage on the fighter. It's AC 17. Oh, not good enough. Miss. Hello, Pocket the Paladin. Welcome. Number 1 misses the fighter. He goes back into hiding. He fails to hide, so he's going to be in trouble moving forward. Number 2 will pop out and do the exact same thing. Try and shoot the fighter with advantage AC 17. That is a hit. Now, in this instance, I think the fighter should have imposed disadvantage, but both of them hit anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think strategically the fighter probably should have used lucky right then, but I don't think you should use a feature when it gets wasted, so I'll say they didn't use it. Do you know what I mean? They both would have hit anyway. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say that hits. That is 7 points of damage because it was from advantage. Fighter takes 7. They've taken 12 points of damage. Fighter's unconscious. Now, the reason we didn't use lucky there is because even if that had disadvantage, it still would have hit. And the previous attack on them already missed. And I don't think they could have used lucky on their attack on this goblin number 3 anyway. And that didn't matter because somebody else killed it. So I think we're being totally fair. I don't want to be rude to the fighter. Fighter's down. Oh, that's great for the goblins. Now, I think this guy might even need to book it. I think he is going to run over here. Yeah, he's going to sprint. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he'll end up in the open if he does that. That's not good. Is that worth it? He'll just get, he'll get destroyed if he does that. He'll also get destroyed. Do you know what? I think he should try and kite this barbarian. That's what we're going to do. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, pops the barbarian, 5, 6. So when he pops the barbarian, he has advantage because he popped out of hidden. He rolls a 12 on the barbarian. Sometimes they have low AC. No, AC 14. That is a miss on the barbarian. Pops back into hiding. That is 14 plus 6, 20. He's hidden. Fantastic. Barbarian's turn. He knows he's over here somewhere. 1, 2, 3. Hold action. He's going to hold action with his spear this time to throw it at the next thing that pops out. And he has to use his bonus action to continue his rage. Wizard. This guy popped back in, didn't he? Wizard. We said number 1 isn't hidden. So we're going to blast number 1, I believe. Do we want to blast him? Yeah, we're going to blast him. We will attack him with a Ray of Frost. That is a miss, and then Wizard will fall prone. Fighter, death save. Fighter rolls a 20 on his death save, comes back up on 1 hit point, gets to take his turn. On the fighter's turn. The fighter will... Oh, this is brutal. The fighter will use his other second wind and heal again. 7 plus 1 is 8. So now the fighter has only taken 3 damage. Oh, this is good. For his action, he uses half his movement to stand back up. For his movement, he probably needs to take cover. He's gonna run into the woods. For his action, he hides. He fails to hide. I thought that was a good idea. I thought that was a really good idea. But the fighter is now in the woods. He can actually be there. That's so good. Cleric, death save. Fail, first fail. Rogue. We can see number 1. Now let's see how Vex works. Is it all attacks against this target? Is it only your next attack? Is it all attacks until your next turn? Your next attack roll. So I think the rogue will also attack number 1. It'll be really useful just to get him out of the way. 10 plus 5 is not higher than 18 because he's in the thicket. But he will fall prone. Just so he has attacks against him at disadvantage. Number 3 is dead. Bow, bow, bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. What are we going to do? Hidden. The only one that is really exposed here is the barbarian. So we're going to try and take down the barbarian, which is an insane feat. The barbarian has so many useful tactics here. Because these two are prone, these two would be really good targets, but because they're prone, having disadvantage on that attack, it just makes it not worth it. So this guy's going to move over, pop out, He's going to get attacked by the barbarian's spear, throwing spear. That is +5 to hit. So that is a miss. He's going to attack the barbarian with advantage. That is definitely a hit, a 17 and an 18. 7 points of damage, halved. Do I want to shrug that off? Do I have that ability? Yeah, and so that's going to be 4 points of damage. I'm going to choose to shrug it off. Use my abilities, might as well. Takes 0 damage. This guy pops back in. Jesus. He rolls to hide and he is successfully hidden. Number 1 pops out. He attacks not at advantage at the barbarian. That is a 14 to hit, meets it, beats it. Hits him for 5 points of damage. Half of 5. Do you round up to 3 or do you round down to 2? Does anybody know? I'm not sure. I actually always forget. Honestly, whenever I have to do rounding, I just round in the player's favor. But we will check. Rules glossary. There we go. Let's do it a fish. Let's actually find out rather than make it up. I'm just scrolling through the rules glossary. R, reach, prone, round down. Whenever you divide a number, you round down. So it's 2 damage. 2 damage on that barbarian. Man, I can't believe the fighter popped back up. I thought I was actually going to win, you know. And here's a question for you, Russ. We've done a different strategy, haven't we? You know what I mean? We grabbed the 2 melee fighters and we charged them. And then we had the 2 ranged kind of squishies hang back and take pot shots. Do you think that this is the correct strategy against these goblins? What do you reckon? This feels kind of correct because I am having to make decisions about my positioning. Because there's more variables. I think it's kind of apples to apples though. Like I know that we're in a situation where last time we ran this, the wizard obliterated one of the goblins straight away and ended up being a 3v5. And in this one, the goblins obliterated the cleric straight away and it ended up being a 4v4. Can we have the bard hold action to grapple? Yeah, that's an interesting strategy. Yeah, let's just double check. I think he might even have some kind of special ability on... He has advantage on... We got to look at where the grapples work. I think they're completely different in this edition. You're in 2014, Brain. Grappling. Okay, we're looking it up. A creature can grapple another creature. Characters typically grapple by using an unarmed strike. Okay. So I guess we look at the unarmed strike. Instead of using a melee weapon to make an attack, you can use a punch, kick, or headbutt or similar forceful blow. Whenever you use your unarmed strike, choose one of the following options for its effect. We would choose the grapple option. The target must succeed a strength or dexterity saving throw, or it has the grappled condition. The DC for the saving throw and any escape attempts equals 8 plus your strength modifier and proficiency bonus. So that's different. Normally, you would go, my barbarian is raging. I have advantage on strength checks. When you have advantage on something, you add +5 if it's a passive. Let's read the Barbarian's Rage ability and see if they adjusted the text correctly. I'm underwhelmed at how rigorous this game is at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I think it probably needs more care. When you are raging, you have the following features. You have resistance to damage. You add damage to your rolls. You have an advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. I don't think raging makes you a better grappler in 2024. Jay Scott, how are you, my friend? It is fun. We're testing out goblins, and I'm playing them like a SWAT team and trying to work out if they're fun and appropriate for a low-level party. You got a question? Let's answer the question. Question re, new players and railroading guidance. How do you thread the balance on guiding new players who may be overwhelmed with choice paralysis versus letting them blunder into things? I think I might need more information. I will say that, like, I don't have a problem with railroading. If you're railroading the party to, like, the goal is to have fun. That's the point. When you're working, did my session go well? It's, did me and my friends have a nice time sitting around the table? Sometimes you can do railroading and still answer that question, yes. But in some regards, you'll use the word analysis paralysis. Choice paralysis. That can be a thing. There's a concept in marketing where if you give people too many options, they will always default to the default option. For example, hey, I am running a little stall at the supermarket and I'm giving everybody a taste of these mustards. I have 20 mustards here. Hey, would you like to try a free sampler of mustard? I have 20 things you can pick from. That's an overwhelming number of options. You'll default to what you're currently doing, which is, no, I will not eat your mustard. But if I go, hey, we've got a new kind of mustard here. It's a sampler. Here are 2 options. You're more likely to go, oh, I'll have the spicy one. Oh, I'll have the other one. So if you're worried about players taking too long or not making a decision, limit decisions. So, and you can be upfront about it. You can say, guys, we have 2 quest hooks at the moment that you guys have discovered. So I'll present some options. Which would you like to make some progress in? You've been given the quest hook of the Banshee in the woods because Sister Gorell wanted you to go investigate, and somebody wanted you to go to the Sleeping Giant Tap House and confront the Red Brands. So would you like to do either of those, or would you like to ask around and see if we can find any more quests? Like, if you put that in front of them, that's really handy. And another huge piece of advice that's helped me for getting the players to want to do something, it really helps me to check their intentions at the end of the session. We've just wrapped up session 2, guys. Great game. Really loved it. Well done. Here are the highlights. Now, I just wanted to know, next session, what is your intent? We are currently in this dungeon. Is your intent to keep going in this dungeon, or do you want to back out and look at something else? And I will actually get them to commit to what they're going to pursue next session, and it helps me kind of prep in that direction a bit more. And at the start of session, I'll remind them, all right, guys, last time you guys said that you would want to do this, so let's have a go. Callum the Alien says, how does one play this? This is Dungeons and Dragons, my friend, and we are just playing through an encounter. These red guys are the goblins. These colorful blocks are the players. Let me double check that my camera hasn't moved or anything. Yep, we're all good. And this is the road, this is shrubbery, and we are just testing how tough goblins are. What encounter is this? This is Goblin Arrows. This is the very first encounter of the game. The reason I'm running this is because I think that goblins might not be very good for a combatant against level 1 players if you play them optimally. So I'm playing them optimally right now, and it is actually quite dicey. The cleric is unconscious. The fighter here was unconscious, and they rolled a natural 20 to pop back up, which is crazy. They've already killed one goblin. We have a wizard and a rogue here who are both hunkered down behind a cart, and they are both prone, and they're just popping up and taking shots like they're in a firefight. The barbarian here is playing whack-a-mole as this goblin pops out of the thick brushland here and takes pot shots. Because this is all woods, right? Back here, they're at 3/3 cover. When they move forward, the forest isn't as thick, and it becomes 1/2 cover. It's proving challenging. This is something where the players should win. But my issue is that this is the first encounter of the game. This is the first encounter many of these players have ever had, and I don't think that they should have to play optimally in order to win. That diciness could be fun in a more high stakes campaign. Yeah, absolutely. The issue with the encounter is two things, and I think we can all agree on this. The first encounter is that it's an ambush. The goblins attack and they're at an advantage. They have better terrain. They have stuff to hide behind. But what I want to make a video about, and what I'm testing right now, is that the goblin stat block has abilities where they get to, every turn they can hide. So the players can't actually tell where these guys are. Excuse me. They can't actually tell where these guys are. And it's not fun to play against. And it's also really effective. Why don't you make it wolves at that point? Yeah, making it wolves might be a good idea. Honestly, I think that's a really good idea. Make it 3 wolves and 1 goblin tamer. That's it. That should probably be what it is. But hey, we're not here to fix the campaign. I'm just kind of, I don't have any gripes. I just have an hypothesis, and we are testing it. Hey, Russ, let me just take a look back at our conversation and work out where we were in the initiative order, because I got a little distracted there. You said the barb had just lost 2 HP. Russ, do you remember who had gone? Oh no. This guy missed. This guy had just popped out and taken his shot. He goes back into the thickets, and he will roll his stealth. He rolled a natural 1. This guy is not hidden. This guy is visible to all the players, even though he has cover. We hadn't done number 2 yet. We had done number 4, I believe. Number 2 will pop out. He pops out from a hidden position. He has a short bow. He's going to shoot the barbarian in the back of the head. With advantage, because he's from a hidden position. That is a 18 to hit. On the barbarian, has an AC of 14. That will hit. That'll be 7 points of damage. halved because he's raging. So that goes down to, you round down, so it goes down to 3. The barbarian has taken 5 points of damage. Total. Great. Now I'm really worried for this guy. This guy right here, I had kind of planned to have him try and sprint and join up his allies over here, but I actually think he might be super cooked. The barbarian, you wanted to move over here and grapple. So 1, 2. You wanted to grapple. I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna hold action with the mole? How do you say it? Maul. M-A-U-L. Big hammer. And he's literally gonna whack a mole when this guy pops out. He has a held action. Wizard. The wizard can see this guy. That guy popped back in. The wizard can see this guy. He has no spell slots left. I think the wizard and the rogue are both going to stand up and they're both going to hold their action for when one of these two pops out. And they're both going to shoot him when he pops out. That's their action. They are both no longer prone. They both stand up behind the cart. We could also try moving the cart. We could drive the cart forward. Yeah, let's have a think. The fighter. The fighter is in cover. The fighter's going to move over here. The fighter is also going to hold his action with a melee attack when this goblin pops out. And it's going to be brutal. The rogue is waiting for one of these guys to pop out with a held action. The cleric still has a death save to make. If he succeeds, the cleric is now stabilized. So he is still at 0 hit points, but he is unconscious and not dying anymore. And nobody can heal him. He was the only healer. We come back around to 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 pops out. It's going to shoot the barbarian. But first, he gets shot twice by the wizard and by the rogue's held actions. The wizard attacks with a ray of frost, shoots a blue beam of ice at him. I'm checking the wizard's stat block. Boop, 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 boop. +5 to hit. We have 15 armor class on this guy. That is a miss. Shoots wide. The rogue shoots him with a short bow. At level 1, no pots. You do not start this game with any potions of healing. That is a 3 +5. That is a miss on that as well. Well, this guy was not hidden, so he doesn't get advantage on the attack. He's going to attack the barbarian. That is a miss on the barbarian. He moves back into cover and he tries to hide. So that is a 6 +6, 12. In 2024 rules, if you want to try and hide, you are only successful if you roll above a 15. So even though 12 is better than a lot of the passive perceptions here, it is not good enough. Next up, number 2 pops out. He has advantage. He will shoot the barbarian. And you guys may be querying, Matt, why are these guys attacking the tank rather than attacking the squishies? And that is because the squishies are behind cover. And also, this guy's actually probably cooked. No, here's what I'm worried about. These two are probably going to clean up this fella. They're probably going to get him. But next, they're going to have to move across here. And before they get to these two, these guys, they need to take him out. They've got to focus fire him. All right, this is advantage on the barbarian. Crit. Holy shit. Oh, God. That is going to be 2d6 and 2d4 +2. That is 9. 13. That is 15 points of damage on the barbarian. Halved goes to 7. And the barbarian has an ability using their reaction. Oh my God. He can't use his ability. So here's an interesting rules problem. The barbarian has an ability that says, I can use my reaction to shrug off 1d12 of damage when you hit me. The trigger is, you hit me, I use my reaction, and I go, I don't care about that damage. The issue is, the barbarian has a held action. They're saying, I am holding my action, and I will use my reaction to hit this guy when he pops out. Let's double check. I'm going to look up held actions and make sure that it does use your reaction as well. Have you guys encountered this problem before? Because if I can, I'll shrug off that damage, but I'm not sure that I can. How do you spell anything? How do you spell any words? Help action, high jump, hostile, hold? Where's hold? Can you hold your action in 2024? Maybe. That's a good question, Andy. Can you cancel it? Can you change your mind and go like, no, I'm not going to do this? Yeah, Jay Scott, this is the very first encounter of Lost Mines. I'm just testing it out. I can't type because my keyboard is packed away, so I can have all this. Can one of you please look up in 2024 held actions, and especially the reaction component of it? My two questions are, 1, does holding your action consume your reaction? And then 2, if it does, can we opt to not do that? Because I'm pretty sure I know how it works in 2014, but 2024, sometimes things change. I'm just going to read out loud what reaction says. A reaction is a special action taken in response to a trigger defined by the reaction's description. You can take a reaction on another creature's turn, and if you take it on your turn, you can do so even if you take an action, a bonus action, or both. Once you take a reaction, you can't take another until the start of your next turn. For example, the opportunity attack is a reaction. Now that still follows with what I know. Maybe it'll be under actions. Okay, the actions you can take: attack, dash, disengage, dodge, help, hide, influence, magic, ready. That's called the ready action, not the held action. There we go. Oh, this is nuanced. This is nuanced. Here we go. The ready action. You take the ready action to wait for a particular circumstance before you act. To do so, you take this action on your turn, which lets you act by taking a reaction before the start of your next turn. Okay, I've used my action and then I set a trigger, and that trigger will consume my reaction. Okay, let me continue reading to see if we can cancel. First, you decide what perceivable circumstance will trigger a reaction. Then you choose the action you will take in response to that trigger. Or you choose to move up to your speed in response to it. Examples include, if the cultist steps on the trapdoor, I'll pull the lever that opens it. And if the zombie steps next to me, I move away. When the trigger occurs, you can either take your reaction right after the trigger or ignore the trigger. Okay, yep. When you ready a spell, you cast it as normal, but you hold its energy. which you release with your reaction when the trigger occurs. To be ready, the spell must have a casting time of an action, and holding the spell's magic requires concentration. Interesting. Okay. So I would rule that as Barbarian, you used your action to later give yourself a chance to use your reaction. You haven't used it yet. And now we're in an instance where he has just taken 7 damage. Is that fun, by the way? I think it is fun. I love that rules shit. Yeah, he should shrug it off. I think he would be better off using his reaction to... He's the Barbarian. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to get... If I get crit, this is when the time to use it. He's going to use his Stone's Endurance, his reaction to shrug that off. He ignores it. He doesn't take any damage. That's his last Stone's Endurance. J. Scott says, so when you name a reaction, does that rule out you can't take any other action if the reaction trigger doesn't happen? Yeah. If, imagine this, J. Scott. I'm going to ready my action to shit myself if Matt Mercer walks in that door over there. Matt Mercer has not walked in that door, therefore, unfortunately, I cannot shit myself. You see? Doesn't work out. The same thing was like, I am going to ready my reaction for when a goblin pops out of cover. But the goblins don't pop out of cover. Instead, they actually run away. That means that if that had happened, I would have gotten to shoot them, but they didn't pop out. So it didn't work. That's a much better example than my first one. I apologize. I apologize for my bad example. So that's his turn. He's going to pop back in and hide. That was a long goblin turn. That is 10 plus 6. That is a successful hide. Then we have number 4. He's going to pop out and attack this barbarian. Do I need to pop out? Can I? I'm in melee right now. Now here's the issue. This goblin is in 3/4 cover. He is in a thick wooded area. I am going to pop out. The reason I'm going to pop out is because I'm in the woods. That makes me think that if I'm attacking from the woods directly at somebody that is not in woods, I kind of would give them cover as well. Do you know what I mean? So I actually am going to pop out and then I'm going to attack this barbarian. However, I pop out, I trigger the held action of this fighter. The fighter attacks me with... Boop, 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 boop. What does he have? He has a great sword. That's going to straight up suck. He attacks me. That is a hit for 2d... Oh, he has an ability where he can re-roll damage. Yeah, and he's going to do advantage on this. 2d6 plus 3. 1, 3. That's not very good. Second roll. 4, 4. He does 8 plus 3, 11 points of damage. He kills this goblin in one swipe by using his advantage on damage rolls ability. So in this scenario, does that mean the barb just has to take the damage? In this scenario, what happened, to remind you, is that the barb had 2 potential uses for his reaction. He could use his held action that he had, his ready action, sorry, that he prepared to try and kill that goblin that just popped out, or he could use his reaction to do his damage soak ability, and he chose to not take the damage. Okay, this is powerful. That's a great turn from the fighter. That wasn't even his turn, that was his held action. That was the goblin's turn. Bad turn for the goblin. Up next is the barbarian. Literally about face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go up there. Pops out there. Just charges across the field. Going to use his bonus action to extend his rage. Wizard. Wizard is going to hold action for the next person that pops out. Fighter. Fighter's actually looking real hairy. Fighter's looking real hairy. What should the fighter do? Yeah, we've got to put the pressure on. Fighter's going to charge over as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets there. Yep, that's it. That's all he can do. That's all he can do. Yeah, this is really interesting. Cleric is stable. Cleric, we can actually just take off the cleric's not getting back up. I'm just going to take them out of the equation. Okay? Because even though they're stable, they're going to be unconscious for an hour and nobody has any heals for them. Rogue holds action, next person that pops out. These guys. Yeah, if I was the cleric, I would be really pissed. Yeah, I understand Gobbo 1 is exposed. However, at the moment they're in 3/4 cover. Their AC is about 18. When they pop forward to do their attack, they're only going to be in 1/2 cover. So the AC will be 15 and they're more likely to hit if we do that. So that's what we're going to try and do. These guys need to be moving back and we've got to try and kill this barbarian. Number 1 pops out, gets shot by these guys. The wizard shoots, +5 to hit. That is a miss by 1. Rogue shoots the short bow. 5, that is a miss, handsomely miss. This guy is going to shoot the barbarian. That is another crit. That is another crit. So that is 2d4 and 2d6. 6 points of damage. +8, 14, +2, 16 points of damage. Then the barbarian is, oh my God, that's 16 points of damage. He takes 8. So that has been 13 total. Please, 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 please take him out. The barbarian is on 1 hit point. The barbarian is on 1 hit point. Holy shit. Okay, this is exciting. Okay, so we've popped out. We're going to pop back in and move 1. Always put distance and we roll a bonus action hide. There's a 14 +6, that is 20, so he's hidden. Let me just address what Russ said. If I was a clerics player, I would be pissed. Like, this would not be fun for me. Hey, Russ, I don't think this is fun for anyone. I don't think this is fun for any of these players. The fighter has been unconscious and popped back up and healed back up. Like, these guys have outputted a lot of damage. And you know what's crazy is I thought, like, for those who don't know, Jay Scott, we ran this encounter yesterday as well. And we ran it with a different strategy. We ran it, everybody hide around the cart, hold your actions, take your pot shots. But we thought, Russ and I talked about this in Discord, we thought, you know what, it actually might be more effective to have the real tanky players charge forward and disrupt them. I'm not sure if that's been effective. Yeah, tricky. This guy still has an attack. So we're going to move 1, pop out, advantage attack against the goblin. Do you know what's interesting? This guy wasn't hidden. Number 1 wasn't hidden. That shouldn't have been an attack at advantage. So we'll say that attack came from number 2. We'll say that was his turn. You know what I mean? Goblin number 1 wasn't hidden. He shouldn't have had the hidden advantage. So Goblin 1 pops out, does a normal attack on the barbarian, no advantage, misses. Okay, I'm glad we did that fair. Up next is the barbarian, who is... Oh, we still need to make the hide check. Not hidden. We'll say number 2 is not hidden. So the barbarian's just going to bloody face tank him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bonk. Seriously, just bonk him. Do we have advantage or anything? Do we have anything we can do as the barbarian? We have 1 hit point. We have savage attacker. Yeah, Gob 2 is not hidden. How much damage is Gob 2 taken? Let's see. Gob 2 is uninjured, but he is about to get barbarianated. Barbated. This is not advanced or anything. AC is 18 on the goblin. That is 10. Well, should he have 3/4 cover against a melee attack there? That's not a bad idea. Actually, we can just grapple him. That's a way better idea. Yeah, I love that idea. Let's grapple him and just drag him out. That is such a cool idea. Grabs him. How do we resolve a grapple in current year? Let's find out. We're looking for unarmed attack. Now, I think we're looking for a saving throw. And it's going to be equal to 8. Plus my strength. My strength is 5. So that becomes 13. Then plus my proficiency, which is 2, 17. Has to make a 17 deck save on this goblin. And the deck save of a goblin... It's +2. The goblin is grappled. This goblin's move speed becomes 0. Oh no, so that goblin cannot move. Just imagine, like, he tries to skulk away into the night and then just like through the thicket, a bush, just his arm, just you're not going anywhere. You know that, like that dad pinch? Like if your dad grabs you, it's like, hey, come here, you prick. He'll grab you like that. And it's just like a thumb and a forefinger, and it hurts for some reason. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The dad strength? Fucking, it's got like fingers like big toes. Just gets you. That's what the barbarian does. Unfortunately, he has no movement. But the rest of his time, the Vulcan pinch. That's it. The next time he can move, he's just going to back up and drag him out into the light of day. Up next is the wizard. Wizard's going to hold action. Fighter. What should the fighter do? The fighter's going to try and get into melee with this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can only get there. The fighter's going to hold his action with a melee attack against this goblin when he gets dragged out by the barbarian. Or I could do a ranged attack against him. No. We'll be fine. Oh, there is a risk here, though. It's really risky. Because if they kill the barbarian, then that pinch, the Vulcan pinch, is going to end. Let's see what happens. No, let's play it out. I think we're being really generous to all sides. Let's just take some risks and see what happens. Rogue holds his action. Next time somebody pops out, they're getting absolutely obliterated. Goblin's turn. Number 1 is going to try and kill this barbarian. Pops out. gets shot at by these guys. AC is 15 from the wizard's blast is a miss. And then the shot from the short bow by the rogue, AC 15, another miss. Oh my God. Brutal. He's going to shoot that guy. He was hidden. Advantage. That is a 9 plus 4. And the AC of the Goliath Barbarian, who was on 1 hit point, is 14. Barely misses. This guy's turn. It's number 2's turn. Oh no, let's go back into the woods and roll a hide check. That is 12 plus 6. That is 18. He is successfully hidden. Here we go. Number 2 is going to try and melee this barbarian. No advantage, just a flat roll in the face. 7 plus 4 is 11. That's a miss. What can we do with our bonus action now? I don't think that we can hide if we have 0 movement. We can't move. How do you break a grapple? Let's find out how you break a grapple in 2024. A, B, C, F, G, G for grapple. Ending a grapple. A grappled creature can use its action to make a check. Okay. Fair. Barbarian's turn. The barbarian just rotates this guy with his movement into that guy's view. The held action goes off. The fighter takes a swing. 10 plus 5 is going to beat a 13 AC because he has no cover in that position. He has not taken any damage. And do you know what? The fighter still has a luck point. The fighter's going to use his luck point to try and fish for a crit. The fighter does not get the crit. But he can roll advantage on his damage because he has this stupid feat that lets him do so. So we're going to roll 2d6 plus 3 twice and see which is higher. 5, 4, he's dead. At this point, according to the module, this guy flees.